All right. Well, we've got one from a girl next up.
Woo!
So brace yourselves.
Hey Chapo, I recently re-listened to your 2021 episode where you all are making predictions for the rest of Biden's term, and for the most part, pretty spot on, including Amber's prediction that we would see QAnon on the runway. I am wondering what sort of shots you all are calling for the rest of Trump's term.
I don't think it is a too outlandish of a prediction to say that there will be further economic calamity and discontent with the economy. I do think that one of the problems that any Trump administration has, regardless of whether it is the first more internally divided and reticent and article shy Trump one versus the more emboldened and strengthened by several more years of rot Trump two, is that after about 18 months, 2 years, you run out of things to be about. Part of that is a I don't even know if you would call it a flaw with the design of Trumpism. It just is baked into the design that it assigns itself problems that are either not solvable or not solvable within 2 years, while only really being able to exist on a media cycle where things cycle in and rage and discontent cycle so quickly. So the politician is not beholden to the same norms and cycles of people from 20, 30 years ago. This is actually the thing that I have had the most trouble, like, even gaming out a coherent prediction on. We know what it looked like for Trump one when it stopped being about something. They were all over the place. They would fire people based on articles. Frequently, there was tons of like recriminations and backbiting and shit like that. Now that they've fully bought into this idea that like, no, we should never back down from anything. It doesn't matter what someone says about someone who works from us. We'll always stand by them. That was our biggest mistake the first go around. What happens when like none of this other shit is in play? Where it doesn't even like move the needle for supporters for them to do these, horrifying jackbooted raids because, the economy is in the shitter so bad that no one is even coming here. I mean, I guess they are already terrorizing Americans, but at a certain point, you cannot just wish for one news cycle over the other. That was sort of one of the problems with Biden. And Biden still had like foundational Biden-y bullshit he could fall back on. Trump doesn't. It looks increasingly dicey after, repeated foreign policy failures where he's similar to Biden said, I have a unique ability to make these deals. And if they are repeatedly shitting the bed over and over and over again, then it's really about nothing. And, that the reason it's hard to predict is that can either be fucking horrifying. Like they go, okay, posse comitatus, we're ripping up posse comitatus. The Air Force is going to fucking bomb Peoria. Or they like feel bad about themselves like they used to. And they go, we're back to firing people over articles. I really don't know.
I mean, my question, and like to Felix, to go off what you just said, it's a cliche, but right now it certainly doesn't seem like they're behaving like a party that's really concerned with running for re-election.
Right.
And as we like get this dawn of like, I don't know, a kind of aesthetic fascism or open embrace of Hitlerism from various people in the GOP or people who work for them, as we've discussed on the show over the last couple of weeks, I would fully expect them now, with more or less ICE being used as Trump's personal domestic military or law enforcement apparatus, where he can, basically hire from the dregs of society antisocial peanut heads who can then terrorize people in largely democratic cities, or what are clearly meant as intimidation to the majority of the country that lives in cities where the Democrat power base is in cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, New York. I fully expect to see more of that. And look, they're already announcing that they're going to contest elections or just steal them through legal means via gerrymandering or just not seating people who have won elections. But I would expect them to use ICE or some form of law enforcement or National Guard presence to contest elections or overturn them more or less illegally. However, that being said, like that is a terrifying thought. But that being said, my prediction is at some point this aesthetic fascism, which has created sort of a television show where like, the leader's enemies are punished on a daily basis. If you don't approve of the leader's favorite podcaster, you'll be just deported from America. I wonder if that will run into a wall of the more or less gutting of state capacity that's taken place in this country over the last 40 years or so, like the neoliberal hollowing out of state capacity. And I'm thinking about this in light of a story I saw today about how the Trump administration is more or less outright buying like an equity stake in a lithium mining company, and at the same time cutting hundreds of millions of dollars in federal subsidies to a lithium refinery and battery plant that was going to be built in Nevada. So it sort of seems like I'm not yet willing to see that there's like the holistic kind of classical fascism, because I think the American population is so depoliticized, and I think like the organs of the state capacity itself are so essentially hollowed out. I wonder if their grand plans will run into some sort of hurdle in that regard. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, and I think that's a very good, I don't know if you'd call it a prediction or just appraisal, but just to put a bow on this for now, the thing that really frightens me more than anything is the idea that this program will be broadly unpopular, more unpopular than it is now. That 15% of fucking Americans support it, right? 15% of Americans and 80% of capital support it. But because it's the only thing, because there's only there's this, which is okay, this is our answer to climate catastrophe. We will shoot and kill everyone. We will immiserate all the people that you fucking hate. We will burn down any boats that come with 100 miles of our shores. That up against nothing, that wins, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And how does something come out of the greatest nothing in all American politics?
Yeah. Because you can't keep pointing out that Donald Trump is Hitler and then not use the power of the state to, I don't know, effectively take away the wealth and power of everyone who supports Adolf Hitler, or give the people, for whom Hitler particles are metastasizing, give them some relief in their life from the, iniquities of fucking living paycheck to paycheck or just being angry all the time.
I mean, I will go one step further. A party that could sell itself as, believing the things that it said about Trump, they would have fired Hakeem fucking Jeffries and Chuck Schumer about a year ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that looks like. And before we get mistaken for completely prognosticating unambiguous doom, I will say that sometimes people surprise you.
I mean, I said it on our episode after Trump got reelected. To hold back all thoughts of doom, I truly believe, and I'll put my money down on this prediction, these men are cowards. They will fuck it up.
Right.
And I feel 100% confident about that.
Yeah, I agree with that.